Okay, welcome back to Travel Talk, where we talk travel, transformation, and the latest in travel trends. And today's guest, I am actually really excited to have on because, well, one, I'm a little bit jealous because he's sitting, in vacation mode right now. And I'm stuck here in Edmonton at minus 40, but whatever. So I want to give you a little bit of history. I think it was probably close to 2005, 2006, back in my old flight center days, I had the opportunity. I don't know if I met you in person or if it was a shop that you had in Calgary, in Kensington. And okay. So my memory serves me correct. So when I was
we had a shop in Kensington.
Okay. So this goes back, like I'm talking 15 years when I first got introduced to G Adventures. And I will never forget reading Bruce's story in the Reader's Digest about how he started the whole G Adventures. And it's been such an inspiration to me. This book, another huge inspiration to me. Like you were just full of, call it motivation and inspiration and what your company is doing. And so today, guys, I'm here with Bruce Poon Tip from G Adventures, the founder. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you. That's quite the intro. Let's hope I can live up to the intro in this interview. Wow. But yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And, I thought it was such a perfect time right now, January 2022. We are getting into a new year, a new travel, perhaps destination, and something super exciting that is on the forefront, especially with G Adventures. I mean, let's talk about Bhutan. Bhutan is like, when I saw my email a couple weeks ago, I was like, holy smokes, our listeners and our future travelers and planners, they need to hear about this because it's pretty exciting. So how about you tell us about the news?
Yeah, the Bhutan government, along with the Canadian Foundation, started to reopen this trail that used to link Bhutan together for trade as well as for military purposes. So it's been closed for 60 years, but it links all the villages and communities across Bhutan. And so they were working about restoring it and opening it for after 60 years. And we've been hearing about it for quite some time, but as it got closer to being successful, they invited me to kind of come out to be the first hikers with the king, but as well G Adventures to be the kind of first and only company to be able to sell and bring it to market, bringing that whole trail. It's quite a long trail. I believe it's over 200 kilometers long to do the 225 or to do the entire trail, but you can do segments of it. So we put some programs in place to bring that trail to the tourism industry for the first time, opening it up to more people because Bhutan has been a relatively shy and kind of closed country, and they're trying to open up to more tourism. The king is very modern there. He's got, and he wants to open up more to travelers. And so this great Bhutan Trail is the first step towards that. So it's pretty exciting because when you go into Bhutan, you can actually access all the cities. There's lots of festivals, but this really links the interesting rural cultural side of Bhutan, which is very unexplored and unknown to people. So it's quite exciting. Like our first trip sold out in hours after, days after they came out. So we still have more trips. Of course, we have our first 2 different 11 and 12-day trip that we're offering at first, but we're the only company that can sell the trail at the moment. So we're pretty excited about that, to be chosen to do that.
Wow, that's remarkable. And I mean, when I read that email, I saw that this trail has not been open for 60 years. And what an honor to be the first tour operator to step foot into this territory. And what a cool destination for people who want some sort of a different kind of travel trip, a travel journey and culture. I mean, there's so much culture to learn about there.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything about Bhutan is so unique. I mean, it really is a spectacular destination without the trail. I mean, it's located in the middle of the Himalayas. So, I mean, Bhutan has actually never been invaded. So it's never had, India had the British occupation, the French were in Vietnam. Everywhere had some form of foreign occupation, sometimes whether it's Genghis Khan or Russian influence. It's just, but Bhutan in the middle of the Himalayas has never been invaded, and it's just pure. And it still has their king, who went to school in the UK at Oxford, and he has very modern ideas about running the country. And it's a fascinating place.
Amazing. So, how many tours are you guys offering this year for that?
It's 2. We're doing 2 on the trail right now. It's an 11-day and a 12-day. So we have ones that it's the highlights of the Trans-Bhutan Trail, and then which is accommodated, and we have one that's a camp Trans-Bhutan Trail, which is 11 days and involves camping and getting more remote. So we have both kind of. These are the first people that will be, foreigners that have been allowed to walk this trail. So we're pretty excited. Wow. And I'm going in March, hopefully, if all things can, with everything going on right now. Yeah. To walk 5 days of it myself. So looking forward to that. Cool.
And guys, if you have any questions about this or you want more details, make sure to email info@travelchicks.ca and we can supply you with all the information that you need. And if this is something that interests you, get on it quick, because Bruce just said it's sold out. So you don't want to wait too long. Now, the other question I have for you, Bruce, is what have you been noticing at G Adventures when it comes to travel trends? Like, I know it's, week 2 into a brand new year, but what have you seen for this year? Like, is it Costa Rica trips are, kind of the more popular choice of travelers? Is it, Thailand? Like, what is G Adventures seeing when it comes to trends right now?
Well, there's 2 different questions you're asking there. In terms of destinations, people are listening to what's open. Not everywhere is open, right? Costa Rica is a very good one. And even during the pandemic, like Egypt, Morocco, Croatia, some countries did handle things better and open tourism late last year, a year ago, last November, December. And so we've been running trips since then to some of those countries. And then some countries are stop-start. Spain, Italy, these countries have opened up and then closed again. Peru has been opened successfully for quite some time now. So we really listen. In terms of destinations, really now are connected to the Maldives, for instance. Maldives and Sri Lanka are open and doing very well for us. So unfortunately, though, those destinations are based on government allowing travelers in with less restrictions and having no quarantines, or the latest one is a single-day quarantine after arriving there and taking a test. So that's that. But what we're seeing, though, is people, I think we're getting to that stage where we're all realizing the coronavirus isn't going to go away. The pandemic we're shifting to endemic, where we just have to learn to live with it. And so with people, the travel, there's going to be inherent risk, and we have to be careful. We're changing all of our operating standards, how we run our trips on the ground, whether it's masks or not masks, or following local mandates, individual destination mandates, but then also restrictions in restaurants, hotels, museums, Machu Picchu. Like, everything has different ways in which they're getting people in and out safely. So we're following all those guidelines. But what we're noticing is the mindset of travelers changing. So, if you're going to travel because it's important to you, you're going to be just more mindful and you're going to be more purposeful. And so more and more people we're seeing data showing, which is good for us, that people want to have a positive impact on local communities, because they're worried about not only their safety, but local people's safety as well. Yeah. Because there's obviously the argument of vaccine inequity at the moment. So, we polled some of our travelers, and 67% said they want to make sure that, local money benefits local people for the first time. Now, we did that survey like 6 months before, the pandemic, and it was less than 40% that people actually put that really highly on their reason to book. And then the other trend, if you look at it, is workations. Like, because everyone's gone mobile and you can work anywhere right now, we're seeing people on trips with us who haven't taken vacation time. They're actually just following up with their emails, taking afternoons to kind of catch up on work, maybe skipping dinners with the group and doing work in the evening. So we're seeing mobile working is the latest. Workations are becoming more and more where people can work while they travel, because everyone's forced to work from home now. This is what I'm doing. Here I am. I'm in Barbados and I'm working every day. I've been doing this today, and I've been on calls. And in between, I'm kind of jumping out, trying to get in the ocean and doing some surfing. And here I am. I'm doing my interview now. I'm a little bit informally dressed, but I'm on a workation myself. I haven't taken a day off work. I'm just, and so we're seeing that on people on trips too. So that's a huge trend, and I think it's something that's going to actually change a lot of the way people travel.
Yep.
And I should also note that. Sorry, I'll just add to that. I think that companies as well are going to start negotiating with their people, saying, okay, if you're going to go on a 10-day trip and you're going to work, we'll give you 5 days credit of holiday and 5 days are working days, and you can negotiate a working holiday with your company, because companies are more flexible and are going to have hybrid models moving forward, and that's going to affect people's holiday time.
That's crazy. So you're saying that a lot of your travelers are doing the tours, but they're also doing the work as well?
They're working as they go, yeah.
That's insane.
They're following up on their emails. We'll hear from someone, oh, I'm not going to go do this activity this afternoon because I've got meetings, and they just disappear into the room, and then you ask them later, are you just working? And they said, no, I'm not. I'm actually working. I haven't taken any holiday time. I'm working while I'm keeping up with my emails, keeping up my projects, working in the evenings a bit, waking up a little bit earlier, missing a few dinners or missing a few excursions, but they're not using up their holiday time, and they're traveling and working at the same time.
Oh my goodness. I never even thought of that, because in my mind, it's like people take vacations and they go and take a tour, but what a cool concept. Totally
Digital
cool
nomads.
Concept.
Digital nomads. That's the future.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's incredible. And then finally, to kind of close things off, I mean, Adventures right now is, I believe, until the end of April, having the Great Adventure Sale. And so do you want to share for our community here on the podcast, on Facebook, what is the Great Adventure Sale all about?
Well, right now, thank you for asking. First of all, we have about 400 trips that are on the Great Adventure Sale. I mean, in general, I'd like to say we're generously trying to, get people to travel with us more. But you know what? This is an industry-wide thing. We need people to just start traveling again. It does start with discounts. It starts with flexibility, giving people maximum the book with confidence flexibility that we have, that people can change on a dime if there's another variant, because we've seen so many stop starts in travel. So we're just trying to give people the confidence to think about traveling again. So we're offering a discount, 25% on up to 25% on over 400 different trips worldwide, to get people just moving again. I mean, those trips, those sales are for January. And then we're going to look past January. And then you can book in the future. That's not to travel in January. That's just to book. So we're getting people, even if you don't want to travel till summer or March or April, whenever it is you want to travel, we're trying to offer discounts to get people confident, and then flexibility, giving people the assurance that if something comes up or something changes, that they have the flexibility to push it off, and for any reason. That's always been an issue in the travel industry, giving that flexibility, especially with airline tickets. Like once you book, you're kind of, you're committed, and no refund policies. Well, that stuff's out the window as we kind of restart the industry and restart travel. We need to give people that confidence, and that's really what the Great Adventure Sale is about.
Yep. Awesome. And I think saying that part about the confidence, that's the biggest thing right now. I mean, in Canada, where you're from, where you're not right now, but
that's where we are.
Yeah. In Canada, I'm finding, and our agency is finding, that the biggest thing is people are still hesitant on booking. Like, even if they have the double shots, they have all the stuff in order. That's what they need. They need confidence.
Yeah, but you can't blame the traveler. Look at it in their eyes for a minute. Last year, we had no idea we'd still be in this year a year later, right? We were all convinced last year. And then the vaccine came, that was the end of 2020. The vaccine came. We thought, we're going to get everyone vaccinated in 2 months and everyone's going to be traveling again. Well, that didn't happen. And then the hesitancy and the equity issues of getting global distribution of the vaccine, all of those things. And then some people got vaccinated, and then and then we were heading towards getting some summer trips, but it was really for early adopters. It was still not 100% safe, because even if you're vaccinated, a lot of these countries that you want to travel to didn't have the same access to vaccine. But then Delta variant happened by the end of summer. And so people then got confident. And then when our numbers show like October, November, September, October, November, we had amazing sales, almost returning to 2019 numbers for us.
Yep.
And then Omicron. So, people are nervous. And, it's a fluid situation. And us in the industry who stay close to the information are saying, yeah, come on, like travel's got to start at some point, like just go. But as the consumer who doesn't follow the information, they just see the stop starts that we have to deal with the last 18 months. And it's difficult for them to put down, hard-earned money at this stage. So we have to encourage them, encourage people. And it starts with, giving them that confidence, booking with confidence and flexibility. That's what they really need.
Yeah. And the last question I have before we end our time is every single G Adventures tour or trip, do you need, is it a requirement to have the vaccine or not?
No.
Because I saw in some, when I was just looking up my own data research and stuff, I saw the note, it said vaccinated tour or something. And so
So we do have tours that are for vaccinated only. So we'd have departures, but we also have departures that are open. So for people that aren't vaccinated, or people that are doing testing instead, and people that don't have a problem with it. So we're finding actually that a lot of vaccinated people are on those departures as well.
Okay.
But, because they don't have a problem traveling with non-vaccinated.
Yeah.
And this was something that we took up at the height of last summer. We started having departures that were for vaccinated and non-vaccinated, because it was more so to do with restrictions within restaurants and hotels locally that said, we couldn't room people together with vaccine. But all of those things are, as I said, it's so fluid, because we all know now that the Omicron variant is that there's not as much protection with the vaccine of catching it, but there's obviously greater protection in getting serious illness. So we want to give people freedom of choice. Like, you can make your decision. So we have vaccinated departures, and then we have departures that are open to people who are not vaccinated, who decide that they want to take the route of testing.
Yeah. Okay. And that's amazing, because that was one of the questions that we got was, do you need to be vaccinated? Because of course there's some that are, and there's some that are not. So that's amazing that you guys are serving both parties. Yeah,
because we have big partners like National Geographic that are owned by Disney, and they're extremely brand protective and hesitant. So in order for us to run with their passengers on it, they made it mandatory for their customers and all of our staff on those customers to be vaccinated. So it took us a long time to achieve that level to suit our partners, but we wanted to make sure that we offer trips as well for people that weren't. So I think we're one of the very few companies that offers both. That's giving you the opportunity to book on departures that are for vaccinated, or people who are vaccinated, and for people who either aren't vaccinated or don't care. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we've covered a lot here. And once again, you guys, I just want to say thank you to Bruce for taking time out of crashing in the waves and working while on vacation.
Thank you. And hopefully you get some better weather there in Edmonton soon.
Yes. Okay. See you later, Bruce.
Thank you.